And welcome to the third day of the 2025 virtual summer school. The summer school is presented in collaboration with SRPLN, the Southern Region Program Leaders Network, and NAEPSDP, the National Association of Extension Program and Staff Development Professionals. The summer school consists of 5 total webinars, 1 webinar a day for 5 days. And today is our third webinar of the week, and we have Dr. Jay On presenting his webinar entitled AI in Agricultural Innovations and Extension, from Evidence to Action. Dr. On is going to present his webinar, and then we have time scheduled at the end for questions and answers. Feel free to drop those questions and answers in the chat below, or wait till the end to type them in. Either way, we'll get them and we'll and say them at the end for Dr. On to respond back to. If you have any questions, put them in. I'm looking forward to a great webinar. And Dr. On, I give you the floor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bench. And then let me share my screen. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Bench. So before I started, I want to shout out to Dr. Bench. Dr. Bench has been my faculty mentor for 1 year, and then I complete my first year, and then I successfully board my extension appointment. So I really appreciate. And yes, my name is Jayan. I'm a new assistant professor and state extension specialist at the University of Florida. My department, my unit is Agriculture Education Communication, AAC. So what is artificial intelligence? So there are so many definitions, and I just want to make sure that it's the easiest term possible. So AI is the ability of a computer or machine, so we can see a lot of different machines, engineering part, so we can see a lot of robots, right? So we can see that the computers or machine to perform what the human tasks. So that's what we use AI. So human tasks equals AI tests. So you'll see a lot of let's see. So you'll see a lot of different terms: artificial intelligence, pattern recognition, machine learning, neural network, data mining, statistics, predictive analysis, and more. So you'll see a lot of different terms regarding AI, artificial intelligence. So we need 3 pillars to use AI, to run AI. So number one, we need data. So what are data? Data are fuel. So I'm heavy statistics background, and we definitely need data. It's a fuel for AI models. And then algorithms are basically a brain. So we can pick up the brain so that we can run different algorithms. For instance, we can use different versions of AI. That's like a ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT versions have different algorithms. So for different purposes, we can pick up the different brain. That's algorithms. The other thing is computing power. Computing power is the power enables the processing and training of all of these, so data and algorithms. So each laptop, I'm actually running 2 laptops, and 2 laptops have different computing power. So based on the computing power, I can pick it up what I need. So basically, AI can offer different models. Number one is AI. AI is basically imitates human behavior. So if you think about the first time who created the AI, artificial intelligence, back in the 1950s, and it's like imitate human behavior, and it's very objective, human kind of decision making support, something like that's an AI. And machine learning, I do use machine learning daily basis. It's about the statistical methods to extract knowledge. So to run machine learning, you often need data, your own data, bring your own data to run ML. So my training is ML for the first time, and then I still use ML on a daily basis. And we can see a neural network because it imitates human behavior. Our brain and the AI brains are very similar replicate the human input and output. So we have our own brain data, and then we have output. We speak, we listen. That's all the output. So, and deep learning, you see a lot of different Gen AIs these days, right? So deep learning is like multi-layered neural networks. So you can have your own image. You can make AI recognize your image. You can create your image. You can create voices. Also, you can ask a lot of questions to chatbot. So multiple purposes and different reasons. So that's a deep learning. That's the easiest definition. I'm not sure that how many of you have not used AI, but AI is very popular, maybe most popular in our human history. So now we have hundreds of AI tools available for various purposes and different disciplines. So we have two types. Although I said that we have ML, we have neural network, we have data, deep learning, we basically have two types of AI. So one is Gen AI, the other type is predictive AI. So something like you want to generate something, image or voice or whatever, you can use Gen AI, or you want to predict something, you have a predictive AI. So there are hundreds of tools and software available regarding AI. If you think about the business investment, they're heavy business investment. No ever human history. So we got a lot of investment. So OpenAI got $10 billion investment from investors like Microsoft. And then you can see a lot of different Anthropic and others. So you can see a lot of investment coming into these Gen AI companies. So Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, actually mentioned that the risk of under investing is dramatically greater than the risk of over investing. So there are more and more money putting in to build up and develop and advance Gen AI, generative AI. So you see that so right now you see the number is increasing right now. So US dollars term is at $56 poured into these Gen AI. So that's a 92% jump over 2023. So I mean, heavy investment is a heavy development, right? So I really encourage you to use the Gen AI models. One of them, you can see the ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Cloud, and more. It's getting smarter. So you will see that every time you use a ChatGPT, you will see the bottom line that the ChatGPT can make a lot of mistakes. We have to make sure that everything, all the information are correct. So we are the decision maker anyways. But if you think about the convincing text and emergent abilities, we have astonishing number of data, and we have very smart brain right now. We are using now is GPT 4.0 and very smart. So if you see that the computational power, this really has astonishing number. So flops are describing computational effort expanded to turn that information into learn a parameter. So if you think about computational power, the ChatGPT OpenAI is getting very smarter. So if you see the bottom line, you will see that the computational power is 80% more in GPT 4.0 compared to 4. If you see the chart on the left-hand side, the GPT 4 is retired already. So I gathered this information last year, I think 2023, I think 2 years ago, and the ChatGPT last year, and the GPT 4 is retired already. And then to train the LLM, we need supervised. We need either self-supervised or unsupervised. Or now with ChatGPT, it's very unself-supervised. So it can train itself from a lot of different internet sources, right? So you can all imagine different internet sources and crawling all the information and self-trained. So whatever you ask, very accurate answers you will get. So I'm in extension. I'm a heavy extension, 65% extension and 35% research. So extension, we are all extension agents. We are some sort extension. So we, IFAS Extension, strives to make the knowledge accessible. And then I want to make sure that leveraging artificial intelligence to sustain and enhance the quality of human life. So if you think about your own extension programs, here you have IFAS have about this 5 to 6 programs. Depending on the special topics as well. So we want to make the people in our served area sustain and enhance the quality of human life. But how we can leverage artificial intelligence here. So my first study in support of Dr. Matt Benj and I actually did some kind of study AI adoption in our county. So we have a 67 counties, Florida, and then who's ready and who's connected and what comes next. That's our first study, and that was actually my AI adoption needs assessment. So I want to make sure that every single faculty member in county extension office wants to use AI. Okay, so we have 360 county extension faculty slash agents across 67 counties, and I have to make sure that AI could scale impact if benefits outweighs barriers. So this study is about the readiness, perceptions, and social network. So my population, again, the target population is the 360 agents, and the sampling process, Qualtrics survey collected between February 20th and April 10th this year. And then we got the 150 responses, is about the 43%, and then 140 fully responded. So and 14 declined to participate. So participant frequency, we have 5 districts, again, 67 counties. And Northwest category, you can see the left-hand side, we have Tallahassee and others. And then Northwest is 26. And the Central is in yellow, is a 28 participated. And the Northeast is, you can see on the right-hand side, is 32. And then Southwest 29 and Southeast 25. So the point here is that we got almost equal number of participants across 5 districts. So what are the questions? What we wanted to have some kind of information. So number one, how are extension professionals positions to adopt and influence the use of AI in agriculture? So behavioral question, we got the observability, confidence, shape AI use, and social network is something that we hypothesize that AI adoption is about the network. So I influence someone and I can show how to use AI and vice versa. So social network is critical piece, and clustering is about readiness, confidence, and perception. So I try to make sure that with a unsupervised learning network, I wanted to cluster all different groups. And the qualitative work is more like what kind of tools they are using currently for their programs, extension programs, and then potential, AI potential in their work. So number one, the first result is that if they can see, if the extension agent can see the benefits in observable within their kind of a network, they're likely to adopt AI very likely to adopt the AI. So you can see x-axis is more like observability. So how often they see the others using AI. So you see that the yellow line is something that not at all to extremely is going fast, go up, that the predictive AI use level. So once you see others use, and then others can guarantee that I'm using AI and see the potential, I'll definitely adopt AI, very likely. The other thing is that who's ready to use AI? You'll see that the really good kind of small network map, social network map. So we made all the influencers in the name of the influencer. We asked least up to 5 influencers per participant, and then we also made all the participants into ID. So you won't see really the names or everything is a pseudonym, but we want to make sure that AI influence or AI adoption is kind of has a hub, and then surrounded by this network, they really have a good network. So so that's one of the findings in the social network. The other thing is the programs. Like I said, we have agriculture network sources. We have family and consumer sciences. We have different programs. And then within the programs, they actually have a really good AI network. So some a little bit lags behind, but some actually have advanced. So AI engagement is not limited to one program. It's very engaged within the programs also, and a wide variety of programs appear near core, and then it's really about the cross program diffusion potential. So this is another program social network map in AI adoption. So basically, social network map summary table is about the so a couple of things. So network view is an AI use level or program area, and the strength is clear, actionable, show central adapters. So we have hub, we have influencers, but we also have to make sure that all the adapters want to influence each other well. So like I said, so it's IDs and pseudonyms. But Matt and I have the real names, so we can match the influencers, and then we can make sure that others can adopt AI within the social network. And then mainly for targeting and the training strategy. And then the other thing is program area. So we have 5 to 6 program areas, and then the strength is of course shows cross program interest, and this is mainly for organizational storytelling. This is Python work, and then we wanted to make sure so all 3 groups: moderate users, confident users, and low confidence group. So it's not necessarily it's left to right or right to left. It's just make sure that it's all the cluster within the cluster map. And confidence adapters definitely is red. So you can see on the right-hand side, they're very the moderate users, sorry. So moderate users on the right-hand side, and then you can see they're in their own group. In the middle, you can see confident adopters, the highest confidence adopters in the middle that they can use AI daily basis. And then you can see on the left-hand side, the low confidence groups are using AI. So of course you have one outlier on the very left. But we actually have 3 groups. So our strategy is basically we're gonna reach out to confident users, and then they can be influencing the moderate users, and then moderate users can also work for the low confidence group. So basically, one size fits all won't work in this AI adoption. So these segments help focus support where it's most needed or most promising. So what are tools they're using? That's a big question for us. So ChatGPT is definitely number one, but ChatGPT through Navigator. So IFAS has a Navigator, Navigator AI. So Navigator can connect almost all the Gen AI. So Copilot, and others. So ChatGPT is one of them. So if you see the word cloud we collected, you can see the Copilot, ChatGPT, Grok is another Gen AI, recently really evolving very fast. And of course, you can actually use the Grammarly. Grammarly has an AI assistant. Zoom also has an assistant. But in extension specifically, I want to highlight that we have iNaturalist. So you can upload a picture, you can measure that what kind of diseases are based on pictures, right? So you can upload pictures and you can download pictures, and you can search in an iNaturalist what's going on. So iNaturalist is another huge presence using, and you can also see the extension board. So extension board is the next topic, but you can see really depending on how you use. So Gen AI is number one, but also Google Lens, iNaturalist, and Chatbot is another extension board. So this is heat map, and then like I said, we really captured IDs. So some IDs kind of random. What kind of AI use they do. So if you think about your own extension programs, like myself, we actually do different reasons using AI. So we want to manage our programs, and we want to write the programs. We want to write the report to the administration, and we also want to prepare articles. We have EDIs publication extension publications. And we also we want to create some kind of program, flyer or webinar or whatever. So we can do that, and content creation or development. So we have different purposes, but mainly we can think about idea generation or reporting or better writing. It's very similar to what the Economist is saying. So the Economist magazine is really discussing about what ChatGPT is used. Number one is written communication. Number two is searching for information and documentation and admin tasks. So these four are very similar to again, what the extension agents are using AI. So very similar. So extension board for communicators. So these slides related to the slides following slides are not from me. So Diana Hagen is EDI's manager here at UF IFAS, and David Warren is Extension Foundation, and they presented ACE conference. And I want to make sure that the extension board is really available. And why an AI chatbot for extension? So why chatbot? Because we want to learn as an organization and begin incorporating AI. And particularly and specifically for our extension program. So we can have a lot of questions related to extension programs. And then basically immediate answers. Basically your computer or servers, whatever, on internet, it doesn't sleep, right? So 24/7, 365 days, you can ask a bunch of questions. So, yep. So, and simplify better use. So what is extension board? So extension board is data gathering. Like I said, we need data. And about the six land grant institutions. Let me go look through here. So basically, extension board is an AI chatbot using on large language models that's also gathering services and participating six lender institutions: Oregon, Oklahoma, UF, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, and Tennessee. So these six institutions actually pour the data, extension on the extension publications, and we are building extension boards. And then yeah, like I said, land grant institution partners and funded by USDA and NEPA. And then every month we meet AI advisory board meeting, and we discuss the progress. And usage is so far is 60,000 conversation from May 2024 to April 2025, and free to use. And is available Oklahoma State University Extension website, and extension book is very similar looking ChatGPT. So yeah, live for 1 year in production. Still uploading a lot of different information, and basically a 1,200 conversation monthly basis, and then 24% no answer rate. So the feedback is good. However, we're still feeding a lot of different data, so still developing. So extension board will be fully available soon. And how digital is your institutional knowledge? So we need some data. So DOS documentation or Word file, or we need PPTX, we need Excel file. We actually gather all the information, and we are actually convert all the language in these documents into CSV file, and we upload it, and we want to build the extension board. So that's digital work. So yeah, so that's extension boards. And then recommendation is that, I mean, for all the AI, my recommendation is that don't wait. Have an experiment yourself. You ask a bunch of questions, iterate, and learn. I'm not sure how many of you using Sora, for example, or image creator. The more you train, the better the results. So that's one of the examples I experimented. So you can start working using chatbot and Gemini. I mean, it doesn't matter, ChatGPT. but you can use Gemini and others, so you can have your own experiment. But we need tailored LLM model. So extension board is one of them. So we can increase our extension knowledge, and we can ask a bunch of questions without any hesitation of the time, and we can begin developing a vision for AI and are ready to adapt and adopt. And we can start collaborating in the multiple ways. So that's a little bit of an introduction of extension board, and I want to introduce the third study, revisiting Everett Rogers systematic review using AI. So why we need focusing on green revolutions. So if you see the first green revolution, it focused on the large increase in crop production in developing countries, achieved by the use of heavy fertilizers, heavy pesticides, and high-yielding crop varieties. So many of you, or most of you, know, of course, Dr. Norman Borlaug. So Dr. Borlaug did all this effort, all three effort, and of course he's a Nobel laureate. But we need right now a second wave green revolution. It refers to a renewed push for agriculture innovation, aiming to address food security challenges and improve farming practices in the face of growing global population and environmental concern. So if you track the growth of population, the world population, it was 6 billion in 2000 approximately, but now we are actually reaching out to the 10 billion people in by 2050. So we are having more and more population, but our resources are getting scarce. So we have to think about the broader ecosystem. So what innovation for whom, where, and when, and how it should be introduced for successful adoption globally. And then it's about the extension services. If you think about your definition yourself, I can define my role. We are all change agents, right? So we want to learn from something, and we want to change people's behavior for a better future. So it's about extension services. So I really think that the first and secondary revolutions are really, really important. So AI can help systematic review. So in this particular case, I had an input. So 2021 to 2025, the latest 5 years, the databases were mainly Web of Science and Scopus. Why these two databases? Because these two databases are the biggest worldwide bibliometric databases. So based on Rogers adoption of innovation or diffusion of innovation, I collected 1,342 publications, and also tried to get more information from CAB Abstract, Agricola, PubEd, and different conference proceedings. And pre-processing is different data types and time cited and different authors' names and country institution. And then we can see who are adopted and not adopted. And we can also see the specific cases because not all agriculture innovations are about the Rogers diffusion of innovation. So and vice versa. So we narrow down only 391 out of 1,342 publications, case-specific publications. So we gather the top topics, specific topics, and then the random forest is a part of machine learning and the trending topics, and then the data visualization. So one of the biggest advantages using machine learning is about the data visualization. So I'll explain these two figures bottom now. So the overview of the bibliometric search parameters. So number one, so out of 391 publications, they're capturing China, it's 97 cases, and India, 46 cases, United States, 22 cases, Brazil, 18, continue to the Ghana, Africa. So collectively representing these numbers is over 60%. And then what kind of technologies the paper is discussing. So number one is conservation. So you probably heard a lot of conservation agriculture or digital agriculture or climate smart agriculture or climate smart farming or precision agriculture or irrigation technologies and minimum tillage or some kind of tillage technology. So these word cloud and the country, the word, the region frequency map is really showing that what kind of how many countries captured and then what kind of technologies are discussed. So I sort about the really kind of small letters, but when we actually collect the information, we try to really set the target variable is either adopted or non-adopted. Of course, this is not really like cookie cutter kind of work. So we try to make sure some kind of a threshold or kind of a criteria. So number one is success rate. So success rate, some publications discussing a 60%. 40% to a 59%, or some kind of partial, some kind of a numbered percentage, the adopted rate. So we capture this adopted rate. Or failure, partial law, or like a 10 to 39%, or no to discontinued, or 10%, less than 10% is non-adopted. So we only have two categories, adopted or non-adopted. Some publications or many publications actually talking about qualitative work, right? So we actually have some kind of proxy terms. So success is widely adopted, scaling positive adoption to the extension success, and interpretation is basically relative advantage and compatibility, and the failure is a low uptake, barriers rejected, unsuccessful, resistance or technological fatigue. These are all when failure. So each suggests poor compatibility, high complexity, or failed policy alignment. So that's the interpretation. We don't know. We just follow the failure and success rate, or some kind of proxy terms. Of course, because of the nature, we could have a lot of different neutral or inconclusive terms. So, or pilot study, review study, case study, needs further study, potential for adoption, mixed results. We decided is undecided or gray zone, or we didn't really include that study. So many of the study actually dropped in this stage. We also think that the very important variables / predictors. So there are different predictors variables. So number one is adoption status. Adoption status is actually target, but we can also see the extension access. So whether farmers can have an extension access. So that's critical piece. And then training participation, whether in the training, out of publication, really whether they can have training or not training, non-training. And then triability, whether the technology is easy to assess, whether they can use, they can try it, right? So there's triability. And the relative advantage means that based on the previous use, previous advantage, whether new technologies can bring relative advantage is a relative advantage. And we can also have education level, so different education level. So I think this is also proxy for literacy. So kind of I use the education level or literacy level a little bit interchangeably. And then we can have a policy support. So some or many studies actually discussing of whether they can have policy support. So we capture that predictor, and the observability is critical piece also. So like I said, in our needs assessment, observability is the most important piece. So we can also capture observability. So whether they can see the technology is really, really visible. And also climate risk awareness. So we all know that the climate change is happening, whether it's intentional or unintentional. So we capture that the paper is really discussing about the climate risk awareness. And then the pure network is also social network piece. And whether it's also the last piece, simplicity. So simplicity is that, of course, really the technology is really easy to learn, easy to adopt, easy to use. So we captured the random forest results, and then these two figures actually showing similar, support each other, but a little bit of different results. So SHAP is really discussing about each predictor's contribution, whether red is very positive, positive adoption, or blue really makes the negative reaction or negative influencing to the target as an adoption or rejection of the new technology, to the random forest algorithmic prediction. And BI is a variable importance slash predictor importance. It's really about the ranked variable. So see that the entire predictors to the target, and seeing that the most to least significant, significant to the target slash outcome. So highest is extension. You see the top, you can see the extension access is the most important, followed by climate risk awareness, and relative advantage and peer network. If you see the SHAP summary, it tells a little bit different story. So education level is important. Relative advantage is really bipolar, whether it's really giving a positive or negative adoption. So, but we basically follow the rule of thumb. We follow more predictor importance. So here, based on all the different studies, we capture that extension is assessed is the most important piece to a new technology diffusion and making adoption. Accuracy is a little more kind of a post-estimation work. And then the ROC, you'll see it on the left-hand side, is receiver operating characteristic. So ROC under ROC area under curve is a 0%, 0.78 is about the 80% accuracy. So we made about 20% error rate. And if you see precision recall curve, you can see that the AI model, this RF model achieves about 75%, but we have a threshold is a 46%. So we actually surpassed that real accuracy. So basically, so these predictors and the target are very kind of accurate. So that's another work. So our next steps are locally, nationally, and globally. We want to make sure that AI is not a random pick. AI really needs the people's intention, intervention, and the behavior change. And then we are the extension agents making all the changes possible. For the people's, our clientele's really kind of a better behavior, better life in multiple programs. And clusters around confidence, perceptions, and social positions are also very important. If you think about different purposes, stakeholders, AI can help really kind of harmonizing, really integrating their needs. And the AI adoption is happening. So like I kind of briefly explained in the introductory part, there's heavy investment and AI adoption is really happening. But really confidence gaps exist. And I heard many times that AI cannot really benefit people. But some actually also mentioned that AI really changed my life. So but confidence gaps really huge. So the equity concerns remain. If you also see the access of ChatGPT, mainly the users are in the United States. So we have to make sure that everything equally accessible. That's another thing we have to do. And develop peer-based AI training models is also necessary, particularly for extension and leveraging central confidence adopters. So if you think about my position, for example, my position AI extension is brand new position here at UF, and I want to make sure that we help each other, and then we increase or we actually influence more and better, leveraging a central confident adopters AI, and then the clustering map. I have 3 clusters, and the clusters is really getting piled and piled. and make sure that, again, the social network analysis and clusters, they always go together, and the target outreach and the resource allocations. That's also necessary. And repeating the study in other state, global, national, and different sectors are further insight. And long term, of course, we want to make sure that we count extension faculty are comfortable using AI to enhance human intelligence. So think about, for example, our UF IFAS level, we have a 360. And if you think about the ratio between the count extension faculty, state specialized agents, to the stakeholders, we have to serve a lot of different stakeholders. It's really unequal or disproportionate ratio. So we want to make sure that AI can benefit and to enhance the human intelligence. And we want to promote universal AI. So universal AI, because AI is getting more and better. So we want to promote universal AI across counties and across nation, across the world. So, yeah, thank you. And the questions are welcome.